For retirees, being happy is not about chasing the crowd or not about the latest trends. It's about the reward of the work for the last 30 to 40 years. You've saved, you've delayed gratification. Now live your best life, live out your dreams, and be the person you want to be, and be around the people you want to be around.
FOMO, the fear of missing out. YOLO, you only live once. Those are terms that have been around, going on, I think, over a decade now. So how do you see these mindsets applying to retirees, and how do you help folks avoid the negatives of them and lean into the positives of these different aspects, these different mindsets?
Yeah, I think a lot of these terms actually have like this two-edged sword, and there is a negative version and a positive version, right? Like we can use fear for negativity or for good. You can turn fear into motivation, or you can turn fear into paralyzation. So that's what we want to do. So let's go through them. So FOMO, that's very well-known fear of missing out. In life, it's the whole thing like, well, I got to be at everything that everybody's doing because I don't want to miss the opportunity to be like, what if I wasn't there and something cool happened or fun happened? In investing, there's this fear that, well, if the market's going up, I have to jump in right now, or I'm going to miss out on the markets. So what if the market's going down? Are we going to have a fear of missing out on the market crashing? Well, no, we only have a fear of missing out on the good things. And so the fear of missing out, I would take it this way. We need to build plans and strategies for retirees that gives them the proper fear of missing out, right? Okay. So I do not miss, and even right now, I'm 42. We run our company, we have our podcast and our media, and we've got some real estate stuff. I don't miss my kids' sporting events. I have a real fear of missing out on sporting events because I only get so many, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my kids' sports. And so this morning, as you and I kind of jumped on, I'm dragging tail today. Why? Because we were at basketball tournaments all weekend long. And then what did we do on our first day? Like I had basketball tournaments Friday and Saturday. And then what did I do? I went to the Michigan State basketball game with my kids on Sunday after church. Like we do these things. I'm not willing to miss anything that my kids do. I refuse. Like I don't want it to happen. When people go into retirement, it's a great chance for you to invest back into your kids and grandkids. That way, necessarily, you don't have to die for them to benefit from what you've accomplished in life. You can live life with them. You can do what my dads do and constantly reach out saying, hey, can I take the kids to basketball? Like, what's going on? And I think there's some really cool opportunities to not miss out on the things that are most important. Very rarely does anybody get to the end of their life and say, man, I should have spent more time at work. I should have spent more time in meetings. I went to way too many T-ball and baseball games, right? So there's just a joy of being part of something that's really, really good. And joy is the opposite of fear. So if you have that fear missing out on the things that bring you joy. Don't fear missing out on stock returns or whatever, right? So you can build strategies for that says, I have a retirement plan that will be okay. If the market's going up, I participate. If the market's crash, I've got some safeguards and hedges. But most importantly, what is the money supposed to accomplish? It's supposed to accomplish the life that we want to live using the tools we have at our disposal. We have money. We have the ability to live life. Do it. So that's the big thing. Don't miss out on the things that matter most. So have a good fear of missing out on opportunities with your kids and grandkids and your friends and euchre tournaments, which is just for the Michigan folks, and whatever it is you want to do, snowbirding. So have that. The next one is YOLO. You only live once. Well, that comes from the idea that, well, what if I spent like I was going to die tomorrow? I like that thought process, maybe not with that level of aggression, but there's a great quote that says, learn like you'll live 1,000 years, live like you'll die tomorrow. And the whole idea being that what's the quote? We always used to joke with my mom, and she has no problem with me sharing this. You can't put a U-Haul on your hearse, right? You can't take your stuff with you. So there is like, when you do all this, you save. Why? Because of how we grew up. When you grow up poor, when you grow up blue collar, when you grow up needing, you save, you scrimp, you build a life. And yet once we get to a certain place, you got to spend that money. You got to do something, save that money and then spend that money. So do it responsibly, but you do only live once. We are given life one time here on this earth. Have purpose, be generous, be philanthropic, give to good causes, be part of something bigger than yourself. Even if that good cause is, I'm not going to let my grandkids get buried in college debt. I'm also going to help them make good college decisions on where they should or shouldn't. There's a lot of stuff you can have impact on, but you can leave the world better than you found it. And that's a great opportunity to YOLO, to live once. Don't spend recklessly, but don't save and frugal recklessly either.
Don't the just in case mentality.
Yeah. So we were moving. We have our house that we used to live in Howell, and we had a barn, and in our barn we had these storage bins of all this stuff. And we're getting ready to move, and I am more than willing to purge anything I need to purge. I have no sentiment. Maybe it's my military background. My dad was in the military, so like I wasn't, but my dad was in the military. So when you live a certain way, we don't hold on to stuff. So we're getting ready to move, and I open this bin, and it's basically like a Afghan that my grandma made me when I was a child. That's way too small for me, and my varsity jacket. And I said, I can just pitch this stuff. And she goes, why would you throw this stuff away? And I said, well, I don't need it. She goes, what if though? What if you did need it? I said, what is the scenario where I would need my varsity jacket from high school?
Going to homecoming, sporting the jacket.
Yeah, going to the sock hop. Like we're going to go, like I was like, this is so, like, I don't need this. And so she's like, so you know what? We still have this varsity jacket in our basement. Cause she goes, no, I'll take it then. So anyways, we deal with that in our house. So we don't want to have a ultra savers mentality, because once we get to the point of retirement, we need to start spending and living once.
Yeah.
So do that appropriately. The JOMO, the joy of missing out. I have really stepped into this in probably the past 4 or 5 years. I love my nieces and nephews. I love my family. I love all these people. But my brother and my brother and I, we've kind of come to this agreement that's like, hey, if your 1-year-old is having a birthday party and it's on a Saturday at 1 p.m., I'm probably not going to be there. As your kids get older and they remember me and they know me, like we'll do things, but I have no problem not being invited to something.
Right.
I think it's great.
Right.
We work really hard. We travel a lot. Our kids are very, very busy. So if there's a night when my kids are like, hey, we're doing this, is it okay? I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Do I need to go? No, you don't need to go. Okay, good. Like there's a joy of missing out on some stuff. I don't need to be at every, there was one, my wife and kids, I had just been traveling. I was down in Atlanta for 5 days. I came back from Atlanta from 5 days, and I get home Friday night at 11:30 at night. The next morning at 10 a.m., they were going to a birthday party of a kid I've never met. And Kimberly said, you're coming, right? I said,
absolutely
no, I am not coming to that party. And she goes, well, but don't you want to? I said, I want to be with you guys all the time. And I will be right here when you guys get back from that party. But I was like, but I have no problem missing out on that. I have no problem at this phase of life missing out on some business opportunities if it means I'm home for the right things, right? Like you can always work harder, spend more hours at the office. But like I said, I will miss out on some things to accomplish other things. The more time I can spend at the dining room table with my kids, studies show indisputably, the more time I spend at the dining room table with my kids, the better people they will be in life and the better decisions they will tend to make. It's an indisputable fact. So I need to invest time there, which means I'm going to miss out on nights I could have worked. I'm going to miss out on business trips I could have taken. I'm going to miss out on some things, but there's a joy to that because I'm investing in something bigger. If you are retired, there are things you should be investing in. And if the fear of missing out is one, then the joy of missing out has to be the other, right? The joy of missing out on, for some people, it's the market chaos. We get to a place, I've saved enough where I don't need to invest in the market at a reckless pace anymore. Great. Then when the market crashes down, you have this joy. Well, I built a tempered portfolio that says I can earn this much and I can lose this much, but I can't earn, I probably won't earn more than this, and I definitely won't lose more than that. This tempered portfolio can be a really good way to live life under control, but just understand the things that matter most. And again, I keep calling back to this, that money is a tool and a conduit to the life you want to live and the life that you've been dreaming of and the life that has purpose and legacy tied to it. When you are retired or building a retirement, think about how you want to be remembered, how you want to leave this earth, and what impact you can have. Whether you come from a faith-based background or you want to be part of whatever it is, there are ways that we can impact this earth to make it better. And you should do that. Find ways to be impactful. I know it's not always about money, but money is a tool, right? Like I want to go, help feed kids in Africa. Okay, great. It's a long swim. So you need to raise money for that flight, right? You have to raise money to go do these things. You have to be able to go do, partner with good people who do good things, and you can make the world better. So I think that at the end of the day, the bottom line, while there's FOMO and YOLO, and those are really driven by emotion and urgency, JOMO tends to emphasize discipline and peace of mind. Just for retirees, being happy is not about chasing the crowd or not about the latest trends. It's about the reward of the work for the last 30 to 40 years. You've saved, you've delayed gratification. Now live your best life, live out your dreams, and be the person you want to be, and be around the people you want to be around. Yeah. So I'm excited for when we see clients walk into this. It's a beautiful thing. We go through the steps, we answer the questions, and now at the end of it, they say, that's it. I said, that's it. You get to just go live your life now, and we just keep adjusting and making sure that we're on track all the time. But life can be on your terms, not on anybody else's. And you can get rid of the FOMO. You can get rid of the negative sides of these things and start living in the positive sides.
Yep. Having the FOMO, having the YOLO, having the JOMO. These are all normal, healthy human emotions. Yep. Young people, middle-aged, old people, retirees, we all have them at all different phases of life. But the point is understanding the good side and the bad side of these different emotions. Not just these emotions, but the gamut of emotions that so many people go through, particularly right as you first retire, right as you're entering into retirement. Retirement plan, Mike, you've said this more than once, over and over again. Retirement plan is so much more than the financial aspect of it. It really, truly is. So if you are ready to start the conversation addressing the emotions, the mental aspect of your financial future, Mike and his team, they're here for you. Michigan's retirementcoach.com is where you can go to start the conversation with Mike and his team. We also got links posted in the show notes. Just click there or visit us anytime at michigansretirementcoach.com.